The official definition of a hearing impairment by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is an impairment in hearing, whether permanent or fluctuating, that adversely affects a child's educational performance, but is not included under the definition of deafness. A hearing loss above 90 decibels is generally considered deafness, which means that a hearing loss below 90 decibels is classified as a hearing impairment. Visual impairment, as the term indicates, involves an issue with the sight, which interferes with the student's academic pursuits. The IDEA officially defines the category as an impairment in vision that, even with correction, adversely affects a child's educational performance. The term includes both partial sight and blindness. Deaf blindness refers to a child with both hearing and visual disabilities, the combination of which causes such severe communication and other developmental and educational needs that they cannot be accommodated in special education programs solely for children with deafness or children with blindness. Deaf blindness does not necessarily mean complete losses. The term deaf blindness actually describes a person who has some degree of loss in both vision and hearing. The amount of loss in either vision or hearing will vary from person to person. Autism is defined as a developmental disability significantly affecting verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction, generally evident before age 3, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. Intellectual disability is defined as sub-average general intellectual functioning, existing concurrently with deficits in adaptive behavior and manifested during the developmental period, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. It is also important to know as a teacher that in 2012, the federal government enacted legislation changing the term mental retardation to intellectual disabilities in all federal law. An orthopedic impairment is defined by the IDEA as a severe orthopedic impairment that adversely affects a child's educational performance. The IDEA specifies that this term includes impairments caused by a congenital abnormality, impairments caused by disease, and impairments caused by other causes such as cerebral palsy, amputations, and fractures or burns that cause contractures. In other words, orthopedic impairments involve physical disabilities which could affect the academic process. Other health impairments includes a range of conditions. The IDEA defines this category as having limited strength, vitality, or alertness, including a heightened alertness to environmental stimuli that results in limited alertness with respect to the educational environment, that adversely affects a child's educational performance, and is due to chronic or acute health problems such as asthma, attention deficit disorder, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, diabetes, epilepsy, a heart condition, hemophilia, lead poisoning, nephritis, rheumatic fever, sickle cell anemia, and Tourette syndrome. Multiple disabilities is when a student whose special needs are categorized under multiple disabilities and requires adaptations for more than one disability. The exception is a combination of deafness and blindness, as this pair of impairments has its own classification.